got him. There we go. I saw him roll on the bait and he didn't get it. And there we go. Come on up in here, buddy. That's hilarious, guys. That's hilarious. Before I even unhook him, look down right there. Let me get the pole sunk, guys. Look at this thing of 4 sticks. Looks like a bird claw right there. I pitched the bait in there and I saw a big shine as he spun around and he was looking for the bait and he couldn't see it. He looked around for it a couple different times. I saw him swim a couple circles and he ain't a giant, but guys, we're doing bass pitching and flipping 101 and that's exactly what we're looking for. Another bloody tailfish here. And we'll get that one put back right there. But when I pitched the bait, it went underwater and then there was immediately a white flash as he spun looking for it. I picked up and he wasn't on it and then I saw him flash again and he still wasn't on it. And then dunk, I felt him finally, he found it and he bit it. And so it's that same pit boss we've been throwing. And just drop it in there and drop it straight down. And that's why you gotta be observant. That's where your coasters will help you as well, because I saw the flash, but I was patient on the hook set. It would have been real easy to just jerk because you saw the fish. But the reality was he didn't have the bait yet. He was looking for the bait. And that also speaks to what we talked about how sometimes you need multiple pitches to a place, because if I'd have vacated the bait in a hurry, you may never have seen it. So I picked up on it and shook it a little bit. He spun around looking for it. He finally found it. And as soon as he found it, he bit it. And that was that. And he paid our fishing game perfectly. That's awesome. That's fun right there. Pitching and flipping, we've done a ton of it on Fishful Thinker. You've seen several shows of why, because it's one of the most important things that a bass fisherman can understand and get a good grasp of. So let's quick run down the tackle. This is what we did all the damage with today. We talked about it a lot. It's the Revo Rocket, 20-pound test trilene, 100% fluorocarbon, the Fusion 19 4-aught hook, the Pit Boss, and the little tungsten weight there, and the 7'4" heavy power, fast action St. Croix Legend Extreme rod. This day in and day out, if I'm fishing around wood cover, if I'm fishing around more open water around docks, this is the one I throw day in and day out. But you'll notice I have another one that's exactly like it right here. 7'4" heavy power, still got the Revo Rocket on it, same rod and reel combination, but this one happens to have 65-pound trilene X5 braid on it. The reason I have 2 identical rods is there's a lot of scenarios where I prefer the braid. Typically that's going to tie to vegetation. If I get around vegetation or really heavy cover, and if the camera pans over briefly right here, you can see, guys, that there's a ton of heavy wood cover. If I'm going to be pitching way back in here and I know I really have to lean on fish, which we didn't really have to do today, then I want the heavy braid, because the heavy braid has all kinds of tensile strength and abrasion resistance. When you take this and you Palomar knot it to one of those hooks, you got them. When you set the hook, you got them. That rod's got plenty of power and everything else to get it back to you. So I typically carry both of those anytime there's a chance somebody pitching and flipping around heavy cover. The last one that I would suggest that you consider is a more finesse flipping rod. Now this has got the Revo ALF on it. It's still an 8-to-1 gear ratio, so it's still really fast. Somewhere I think 33 inches of line per turn. Not as fast as the Rockets at 41, but still a very fast reel, a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, which is an advantage to it. Because this rod is a 7'1" medium heavy power instead of a 7'4" heavy power. It's extra fast action, it's very sensitive. This rod is better suited to presenting something like the soft stick worm, like the Berkley Maxent General that we have right here. And I've got only an 1/8 ounce weight on it. Again, I have the braid for sensitivity in this case. So plus the braid will compensate for some of the lack of the power in the rod. You get a really strong hook set with it. It's an excellent way to land fish. Plus this rod's a little bit more versatile. You can do other things with it. So I might use a rod like this for a whole variety of different things, but it's my finesse flipping rod, or pitching rod as I would call it. But between those 3 rods right there, they're all really fast retrieve ratios. They all got big heavy rope on them of some sort, either braid or fluorocarbon. And they're all extremely light sensitive rods, really important. And those are the keys to the setup right there. So a soft stick worm like the Berkley General, a Pit Boss, and maybe like a 1/2 ounce or a little bit heavier black and blue, or maybe a green pumpkin jig of some sort with a trailer on it. That's gonna do the bulk of all your pitching and flipping duties. So if you keep those in your boat all the time, you're always prepared to catch fish.